The usher is passing out envelopes for cash giving in the house, and everybody online, you have your buttons for your tithe, truma, and digital missions. This message tonight is just not about giving of our tithes. It's about giving in general. In this message, God opened my eyes to things that I've been missing or not receiving that are actually from Him and are harvests from seeds that I have sown. So the title of this message is Harvest, and the focus is, are you receiving it or not? During Bible school graduation Sunday, God gave me 2 words through Bishop. These words were increase and improve. As we know, God sometimes tests us to see what we know and if we actually receive something. Well, my test for this came about an hour and a half later while we were eating lunch. So let's start at the beginning. Let's start with Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever man sows, that he will also reap. I've seen this principle work in my life. I've seen it work for good things, and I've seen it work for not so good things. The not so good things really don't affect my flesh because the flesh is used to it. And what I realized on Sunday is that the good things really don't affect my flesh either, as long as it's something I want. You know, like increases in finance, increases in things that you want. The problem I ran into is a year ago, Minister James said that God said I'd be an evangelist and he used Minister James to tell me that. Since then, Bishop has me leading tithes and offerings a few times a month. And for those of you that don't know me, this takes me way out of my comfort zone. What God showed me on Sunday, that these times of leading, you and your giving, have actually been seed that I've sown. And God had another word for me on Sunday through Minister James. The word was that through a series of divine appointments that I would be in high demand and there would be places lined up for me to preach at. Now, for those of you that don't know me, this took me way, way out of my comfort zone. And I jokingly said to Minister James that you always have such good words for me. But later, God revealed to me that what I was actually doing was not receiving a harvest of the word that He just gave me. I was not going to receive the harvest because it was something that my flesh didn't like. Once I was able to see this, I repented to God and received what He had for me. And if I wouldn't have repented, I would have lost out on that harvest. And now I'm in a position to move from increase to a place of improvement of my ministry. This got me to wondering how many things from God that I've missed because they were things that my flesh didn't like and I didn't receive it. And there's a portion of scripture that somebody else in the Bible had to face a situation like this. It's Mark 14:35 through 36. He went a little farther and fell on the ground and prayed that if it was possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what you will. Now, this portion of scripture is talking about Jesus praying to God to see if there was any way He didn't have to die on the cross. And I'm sure that Jesus' flesh didn't like what God had for Him. But He accepted the will of His Father for His ministry, and He went to the cross. What would we be today if He didn't do His ministry and die for us? I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't be standing here. I'm pretty sure I would have never made it out of the hospital. So when God gives us a word that our flesh doesn't like, just remember it's not about our flesh not liking it. It's about His will for our life. So that was the wake-up call that I got on Sunday. And so now I'm improved. And the thing that come to mind is if you receive a word that you don't like, look back at what you've been sowing and see if it's actually from God. Because if you don't like it, your flesh doesn't like it, most likely it probably came from God. So, so that's what I learned on Bible school graduation. So if people want to come and bring their offering, and Father, I just thank you for your word. I just thank you that you gave your word so that we know what to do, and when we are obedient and observant to it, that you will do what you say you'll do. So I just pray that people's eyes are open to see harvest that you have gave them, and I just pray that they will receive it. I just thank you for it.